Right. Oh, it's already started. Okay, so I'm making this one now because I just got on a bit of a thinkety one. It's a little bit like yesterday, really. I would like make a video and then just start mulling things over and thinking about things. And it got me thinking about like the wishing of Merry Christmas and like what it means to wish someone a Merry Christmas and how it makes me cringe when people do. Um, But like, I got to thinking, I'd commented on a post that someone had written yesterday. It was a beautiful post. It's like for the lonely at Christmas kind of a post. Not just, here I am with my mince pies and my, elf costume or whatever it is. It's like there was that extra moment for people like me. And I'm a person like me. So obviously I commented on it because it went straight to the fucking heart for me. But when I wished her a Merry Christmas, I was thinking, because that was just such a beautiful thing to do, and I thought, wow, how lovely are you? And I know that she likes Christmas, so I thought, I said, you truly deserve the most magical Christmas, and the more nice Christmas I wished her was how much I thought she deserved a good Christmas, if that makes sense. And it's kind of that's what we do to each other, isn't it? In a way, wishing someone a Merry Christmas is like saying how much do you like them, the more Merry Christmas that you wish them. Um, and obviously it was like she was going to say Merry Christmas back. I didn't leave her much choice. So I'd said Merry Christmas to her. But people do say Merry Christmas back. And it really is like at that, for me at Christmas time, there was this huge sort of, is it kind of what would look like the playing the martyr of it? No, you go and have a, don't worry about me. I'm going to be on my own. I'm going to be sad. You go and have a nice Christmas. And I know that might be how it looks, but it really isn't. It's more like Christmas is awesome and you deserve to go and have fun. So go and have fun and don't think about me. Because if you could help me, if anyone, I'm talking about, if anyone could, then I'd let them. Um, and when I say to someone, have the most magical Christmas, what I mean is fucking forget about me, forget about everything, go and be with family. Because like that is, for a lot of people, that is what Christmas is about, being with their family. And then there's, the other people who get left out of that shit. Um, but none of them want to fucking take Christmas away from anyone. That's the thing. And they know that in a certain way they would, no matter how much they get told they're no trouble, or they actually, I really want to help you and all that sort of stuff. It's like, it's not about your opinion of it, it's about theirs. And if they feel a burden, they feel a burden, no matter who it is. No matter who it is, and no matter what that person really thinks of it. It's about they feel like a burden because they feel like a burden. They don't feel like a burden because they think that you think that they're a burden, and that's what you always reply to. You always reply to that. So you need to convince them, as long as you convince them that you don't think they're going to be a burden, then therefore they're not a burden. Now they shouldn't feel like one. Those are the kinds of situations where I sit there and go, why am I not allowed to feel what I feel? That's why I get stroppy with people when I get told. That's what I get called being reprogrammed in that kind of a situation, because that's the way I see things. But that in that situation, that's what's going on. That's what everyone does. But I don't think you're a burden. I don't think you're a burden. You need to know. I don't think you're a burden. It's the same as a lot of things. People give that reassurance. It's like it wasn't about what you thought. It's about what they felt. They would feel like a burden no matter what you thought of it. That's the difficult bit. That's the thing. They will feel like a burden. And sometimes the more that you try and make them not feel like a burden, they'll go, look at the amount of effort they've got to go to make me not feel like a burden. And in actual fact, a lot of it, it's like they were going to feel like a burden anyway, no matter what you thought about it. That's the thing. And that's what people always do. And it's not intentional. I'm not saying it's intentional, but to me, there are so many situations like that I don't remember because I get flustered during times like that, and I never remember examples. But that's kind of one of them. That is kind of one of them where there's an assumption, and then people think that just by fixing that assumption, everything's going to be all right. They're basically assuming why that person it feels like a burden. And, you know, them feeling like a burden, it's them feeling like it. It's not them thinking that you think it. That's really fundamental. It's really fundamental because there's so many conversations I've had where at the end of it thinking, right, we finally established that I don't think that you thought that. All of this, the bit I'm upset about, is happening over here in the meantime. And all we've been able to talk about is to make sure that I don't think that you thought this. And I get tied up in knots by it, mate. I get tied up in fucking knots by those conversations. I really fucking do. They're a loop that you keep going around. And it's because of not... they're not assumptions, really. They're just automatic responses to things. They're what people think is going on all the time. And to be honest, a lot of them are the sort of politeness game. You know, I watch people playing the politeness game a lot, where they're all just saying things that they're supposed to say. Like that dick that I didn't like in the hotel the other day, when he had to make a big deal out of saying ladies first to the lady, and he had to really sort of stop. And I was studying this geezer, and he was constantly checking himself and his appearance, and his walk had a Dumpty Dum to it. Everybody looked at him was, good morning. And he had to compose himself and do a big fucking thing. Where he's like, everything that geezer did had been taught to him to say, you know, when someone says this, you say that. When someone says this, you say that. Da 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 da. And it, you know, it's the same as, oh, you go first. No, you go first. Oh, no, really, it's no trouble. Da, 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 da. People are just automatically acting out cyclical fucking behaviours. And if you don't, you end up with a personality disorder. It's like... but that's always what people say. You're not a burden. I promise you, you're not a burden. And there's that focus on convincing them that you don't think they're a burden. That's not the problem. That's not what the problem is. I think I've made my point. I don't mean this to sound bitchy and horrible at anybody at all. I really don't. It's difficult to get people to open up. It's difficult to get people to talk. It's difficult to connect with people, and this is some of the reasons why there's a lot of misunderstandings. There's a lot of misunderstandings. Like I said, I knew there was people I could have run up today. And I knew that they wouldn't have thought I was being a burden. That's why I knew I could ring them. And if they'd have invited me, and I'd have said no, I think maybe people would have said, but you're no trouble, honestly, I don't think you're a burden. It's automatic, we all do it. We all do it. But it's very often we're wrong, and that's one of the areas where we are wrong. Is understanding why people can't connect at Christmas, no matter how many offers are out there. It's, you know, people get told to stop being stupid if they say I'm a burden. Oh, don't be stupid. That's a terrible response. I hate that phrase. Don't be stupid. I must say it myself, that's why I hate it. Because it is damaging. It's one of the, you know, people say, oh, well, what's what everyone says. I don't really mean it's like there's loads of that in society. Things that just get shrugged off and carry on existing. Oh, well, it didn't really mean that. It does the damage, whether people mean things or not. Sometimes it does the damage. That's totally digressional, that last bit. That's the sort of videos it's going to be difficult to make, because there's a lot of times where I fall out with people over shit, and there are massive misunderstandings, and it is over like those kinds of misunderstandings. When saying I'm not a burden, it's got nothing to do with what I think you think. It's got to do with how I feel. It's how anyone feels. It's how anyone feels. When you pick the phone up, you dial the number, you just feel you're in a position already. You haven't even made the phone ring. You already feel like a burden. Nothing to do with whether you think they're a burden or not. It's got to do with where they feel. And you know, I know I'm a fucking burden, because I know when I can find my happy. You've all seen it if you know me. I can find my happy. Sometimes I have to do it every day. Sometimes I have to fight this shit every fucking hour because it keeps coming back. And I keep having to find that resolve. That's why I'm good at it. I'm a professional because I've been doing it for a long time. But yeah, I think I've run out of steam. I think I've run out of steam on that. But it was just it just started off with what do we mean by Merry Christmas, to be honest, and I've ended up here. But there we go. That's the nature of the beast. And Merry Christmas. I even said it this time.